Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Zelda Classics Stranded. I'm Nitro6003. In the last part, we took out level 6. And now we have the Lens of Truth, which is going to allow us access to more stuff. And because I need probably all of the magic that the Lens of Truth has to offer, I'm going to forego using it right now in the overworld. And I do want to get some money here. So there's a reason I didn't explore those two places, but we will shortly. Alright, so if you go up here, you're going to see this. A sword rests somewhere in this river. But the Lens of Truth is the only way to see the safe spots. So you got to be really careful here to not get hit by the P-hats, number one. Alright, so I got past that. I'm taking my time because you don't have enough magic to use it unlimitedly. So this brings you back to the start. This is what we need. Welcome to Death Cave. And oh, clock, good. I hope I can still push it even with those ghosts there. And you want to not forget about this, because in theory, I guess you can't get very far in the level without it, but why make things harder for yourself? And you do need to come this way. And you're going to notice something about the floor that's going to look kind of on the familiar side. And it's nice to go through a shorter dungeon here. So pick up the key. Now there's one or two rooms that you don't need to go into, and I'm going to avoid those. So when you go up, you'll notice the Wizrobe statue. And you don't even need to kill those guys either. Now, what I highly recommend for this room is to leave one enemy here. Now, from what I know, there's no way to easily do this, but you only have to do this once. And I would just use your boomerang on these guys. Now, you could go to either side. And this basically is going to bring you back to the start, but you have to do this at least once. Thankfully, I have that magic ring. So basically, there's a bombable wall here. And it doesn't look like there's anything in this way. You know, the Lens of Truth makes things so much easier, especially if it's your first time playing. So, it just takes the guesswork out of things. Pick up that key. And yeah, these guys will respawn, but not a big deal there. Just continue on your merry way. And this is going to look kind of on the familiar side. So nothing in there. But luckily, it brings you back here. And here you have some dark nuts. Please do not go up. Because you're just going to have to go through that Stalfos room again. So there's no reason to do it twice. And you basically have blue dark nuts here. And this room you're going to see quite a bit in this dungeon. And if you can kill them from the doorway, I don't see why not. This was not the right room. It's the one that's next. And obviously your map doesn't tell you very much. And here you got to be really, really careful. So you don't need to go up. And we'll be going, and there's, I believe, 10 bats in here. Don't waste your magic trying to use the Lanes of Truth unless you... So use your second key. I don't believe these guys drop health. Luckily, you could do this on the doorway. And just take your time. So now you want to go down, and this green skull may or may not look familiar. Yeah, so you can't stun this guy, but you can hit him with your sword. I don't think any of your weapons work on him other than the sword. Like, you could try the magic wand if you want, but it's not going to work on him. So you just have to, you know, kind of stay in the doorway. And you do have to kill this guy, by the way. I wouldn't go into this room because this guy, I believe, does more damage than the other guy. And he takes a lot of hits, so it would probably be better if I had sword beams, but yeah, see, you can't hit him. You can't stun him in any way. Alright, so it doesn't look like anything happened, but if you go back up, and you go in here now you can come in here. This mess. It'd be really good to get a clock in here. Yeah, this room is really dangerous with all the Stalfos 3s. You know, use your boomerang. Slow down the action just a little bit. And here you just have some simple enemies finally. Oh, clock. Good, good, good. And a fairy. So just go into the whirlwind, and now you just have to answer these couple of questions here. So the first, and it's basically common sense, so you want to go to the left first. Then you go to the right. And then finally, you go to the left, and look at what you get in return. The magical sword. That basically brings you back to start. So what happens if you... I waited till I had the magical sword to do this, but basically if you go over here and fall down, you're going to face this. A Patra, yes. So you don't want to be facing this with a white sword. I don't think you can F6 out of here. And if you fall anywhere, you're gonna face this guy. So technically, he respawns. And that's how you get out of there. And luckily there's a lot of grass here for hearts. So you see I finally have full health. So if you buy them here, it's more money. So now if you had any questions on where anything is, the lens will tell you. So essentially, just use your lens. And it'll tell you if there's something here. And once you find what you're looking for, and that's the hint on double magic. So if you go in here, you'll find an upgraded bow. You don't actually have to get it, but I figure why not? So, and again, if you're not sure, just use your lens. It'll reveal pretty much everything to you. Now, I pretty much need a full wallet before going to the next part, which is over here. And there's a faster way to get money. So I'll show you where that is. This is also a pretty good way to get money. You know, just going around and killing these levers. So if you just go around these screens here, and now that you have the magical sword, everything's so much easier. But there's actually a better place than even this to grind, and I want to show that off. So now that you finally have the magical sword, you can do damage to these guys. And you can see them now with the amulet. And these guys are really good for money drops. Look at that. I don't think they drop anything but money. Yeah, see, there's 5 right there. They already have 125. And, you know, if you make your way around all the screens, they will eventually respawn. Plus, you should get all the money from all the grass, too. Look at this. This should be your easiest method now to grind for money. I mean, sometimes they'll drop single rupees, too, but more times than not, they'll drop 5s, 10s, and also now this shouldn't take very long. I mean, I know I still have a lot of money secrets I didn't use, but I know I've gotten a couple. But I prefer to do it this way. If you watched any of my LPs, this is how I usually do it. So, and you just go in a circle. You know, find your own circle of however you want to do it. You know, you want to go up the middle. See, those are 10s. Yeah, it's not like these guys won't respawn. And luckily, they don't take very many hits with your magical sword. Yeah, this should be relatively quick. Yeah, they drop 5s, they drop 10s, they drop 20s. I guess 20s would be the rarer drop of all, but, you know, still 5s add up. And plus all the single rupees. So yeah, you want a full wallet before going to the next part, so we'll finish off this part by doing that. And if I can get some other loose change from the grass. I almost wish there were 10 of them on a screen, not just 2 or 3. But I guess that would make this impossible to go through. If there were 10. I guess like 3 is probably enough. And you kind of need a full wallet, so... And by getting the magical sword, you're closer to getting to the next level, which is the level 7 area, but there's a lot of mini dungeons you can do in the meantime. That was a 20. I would say keep dropping the 20s, but I think I've only gotten 2 20s so far. But look at that, 2 5s right there. I mean, if you cut every piece of grass, you probably would get it also, but it would take you a lot longer. And you could see, I started with, I think, 60 or 70 rupees or something. And I'm already up to 372. That might have been a 50. Wow. I didn't know they dropped 50s. That's probably the rare drop. Yeah, I think 5s, single rupees, and 10s are the non-rare drops. Since they drop mainly those, and then 50s are probably the higher, the lower drop rate. Because every enemy has a high drop rate, which is most quests is nothing. It's usually like 50% or something like that, or 1 in 50 or some percentage. You know, if you've ever made a ZC quest, you'll understand how that works. I do have one made. So I do understand how that all works. And I believe... yeah, there's a bombable wall right here. And I still don't think you can hurt them with your boomerang. So if you go in here, it's a clue that kind of is useless now. I mean, I already went into the Muddy Fortress, but I do want to show off, you know, those clues there. Yeah, it only needs like 7 rupees. I probably can get in the next... you know, just by finishing cutting some grass. There we go. So I'll make my way over there. Let's see. I'm not... so this is the level 2 war point. This is the level 3 war point. And then this is the level 6 warp point. Alright, so join me next time as we continue our exploration. I'm Nitro6003. I'll see you guys all next time.